Now, would you rather be embarrassed or afraid?
Would I rather be more embarrassed than afraid? I would say
Probably rim me up $1 million in that kitchen. For these rappers, ain't dealing with these niggas. Nah. Probably rim me up $1 million in that kitchen. Real trapping, and you in it when I did it. My nigga did that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up. My nigga did that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up. My nigga did that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up. My nigga did that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up, that cook-up. My nigga did that cook-up.
Cook up live on location at Cutters.
glad to have you, gentlemen.
Hey, sitting here with the man himself. Mr. Wille, how you doing, sir?
Oh, doing pretty good, pretty good.
First of all, thank you for allowing us to come through your establishment and set up and have this conversation with you, man. Very dope spot you got. Very dope.
I appreciate you guys coming. I really do. It's a
So,
blessing.
first things first. Why cigars? Like, how did you decide to get into this particular business?
Well, about 10 years or so ago, a very good friend of mine, like a brother to me, introduced me to cigars. I was working night shift, and I was supposed to have worked out that morning, and he invited me to come by his house, told me to bring my grip bag, and I get a shower there. He cooked breakfast, and he said, man, I want to introduce you to something. And I got over there. He said, well, get you a nap. We'll eat breakfast, get you a nap. So when I got my nap, got up, he had cigars and some cognac. I'll never forget. It was Hennessy Privilege.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my
And,
drink.
All right.
I don't even know if they still make Hennessy
Yeah.
Privilege. And he had a couple of Romeo and Juliettes. And it's been uphill ever since.
Okay.
Over the years, I just, just kind of did a lot of reading, made myself a little bit more knowledgeable, of the cigar industry. And it's just been all uphill from there, man.
So with this particular location, this is your very first business venture stepping out on your own?
It is. I have this is really my first actual location as far as a business, being like a brick and mortar.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had my own mobile detailing business for 6 years.
Okay.
And I've been doing that, but this is actually my very first actual business.
Gotcha. So you did have some entrepreneurial experience stepping out.
Yes. Just a little bit, though. Just
A little bit. So speaking on that, like, what was the biggest challenge coming from, the experience that you had as your mobile detailing service to opening this brick and mortar establishment? What was one of the biggest challenges that you faced opening this particular business?
I'd say the full process of, making sure you have all your ducks in a row. All your I's dotted, T's crossed. Dealing with, just trying to be in compliance with the local government. Making sure you have everything in order.
Okay.
And having to spend a ton of money before you can actually make your first dollar.
What you say?
Like your first dime, you done spent
Yes,
a
sir.
whole lot of money.
Yes, sir.
spend
A whole
money to
lot.
make
A
money.
whole lot of money.
Yeah, for sure.
So how did you I know there had to be a little, little voice in the back of your mind thinking like, is this gonna work out? A little self-doubt, a little fear. What was that driving force to push past that noise and go ahead and so you say you spent a lot of money and you hadn't made a dime yet.
Mm-hmm.
What gave you that courage and that faith that you knew it was gonna work out?
There's a very good friend of mine that owns several lounges in different states. I actually met him at one of the local lounges here, Vitola, which is a very great cigar lounge. I mean, I just went and visited there a couple weeks ago where I just wanted to show some love. Met this gentleman there, and say probably a couple years ago, and him and I just kind of gel and develop a great friendship. He started introducing me to the core of the business. After talking to him about my idea of wanting to open a lounge, I asked him, do you think I could do this? And he told me yes. So what he did, he took me on his wing, showed me the way, a lot of leadership, guidance, and advice. And it's just been great ever since. Prior to that, though, what really started me with, getting in business, period, just like with my mobile detailing, some good friends that I met here several years ago when I was dating my wife, before we got married, inspired me to open my own business and taught me how to do everything legitimately. Told me, put me in the right direction with, attorneys, just doing everything right.
Yes, sir.
Not in his exact words, where you don't want to do no shade tree stuff.
Nah.
So when you put a sign on that truck, you want to make sure that you're legit.
You don't want to cut no corners.
You got your business, like you don't want to cut no corners. So, and another gentleman, which, he passed from COVID, was a very good inspiration on my life too, with opening up this lounge, because he told me probably maybe 3 or 4 years ago, he said, Willie, with you being so knowledgeable of cigars, he said, you need to kind of do something, towards cigars. He said, because you know so much. At that time, I didn't think I knew nothing. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it was just, it's 3 people that really has had a major impact on my life. It's my good friend Charles McCracken, Rick Jarman, which is my good friend. He passed away from COVID, and a good friend of mine, Ron Ward. And I said 3 people, but I like those sofas right there.
Yeah, they nice.
But I don't ever want to sleep on one of those sofas. so I said 3 people.
You said 3.
I said 3.
There's one more.
But my wife was first.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She was first.
Yeah, class of her own.
Yes, sir. She was first, and she has always been my number 1 supporter.
That's
That's what's
number
up.
1 supporter.
And with your knowledge of the cigars, take me through your process of saying, okay, this is what I need in my shop. Outside, because I know you like what you like, but at the same time, you got to please your customers. So,
Well, I'm still kind of trying to figure that out with us just opening so recently. But what I have learned is that paying attention to what you like, and I take that and I put that together, and then I try to come up with different variety of cigars, so that way, and I've smoked the infused stuff. Some of it I haven't, but if I don't smoke infused, I try to encourage some of my customers that do smoke infused, try this, and I ask them for a review on what they think. So that way, if you come in there and you say, like you smoking that Rock Steady, and I've never smoked the Rock Steady, and you give me a review on that, and somebody comes in and say, man, what do you think about this Rock Steady? I'm going to go off your review.
I got
And I could be able to share that with them, that this is a good cigar or it's not, based on, what a customer told me.
So what's your favorite cigar?
Oh, man, I don't think I have a favorite, but as far as strength-wise, I love a good, strong Maduro Ligero cigar. But when you say my favorite, I'm a huge fan of Drew Estate Liga Privada line.
So with your vast knowledge, and you say you're still learning, just briefly kind of break down some of the differences in cigars for somebody who's completely green and just want to come in and try one, who don't know anything about cigars. What are some of the differences between, a milder cigar, stronger cigar, and the type of different? You say Maduro. I don't really even know.
That's the wrapper.
The wrapper?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's the wrapper. You have like this right here is more like on Connecticut, then you have Habano,
Okay.
and then you have Maduro, and then this here is what you call is a barber pole.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a combination of a Maduro and a Habano. As you got some with Connecticut,
Okay.
and it all boils down to like the binder and the filler, which is the actual what's inside the cigar
Gotcha.
that determines the strength on what your profile likes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And break down the gauge, because I know some people don't know the different.
Oh yeah, when you talk about gauge, that's the size.
Right.
You know, like you may see something in there that say 4.5 by 48. 4.5 is normally the length. 48 is the ring gauge. You get them all the way up now. I think they got some 80. 80 gauge.
Too big because this right here
And you
48, so I can only
Yeah.
imagine 80.
And you got them as small as, like, you got the little small ones as low as like 20-something gauge, you know, the little
Right.
smalls, cigarillo type
Yeah.
deals. But everything in there is not, I want to say, the largest I have in there is probably 60 gauge, all the way down to probably like the 44.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, so with that being said, like breaking those down, just say if I was this is my first time here, like what would you suggest for a starter?
Well, first I would, find out, how long you've been smoking, and what is your profile, mild, medium. Normally being a novice, most of them would say they want something kind of mild. And at that point, I would know what direction to point you in.
Okay, I
Because
got
the
you.
way I got the humidor set up, I got it set up to where the flavors in the mild cigars versus the ones with heavy strength with the Maduro, the Ligero, and then the medium blends. But for a novice, I got that section where the flavored and the sweet tip cigars are. I can kind of point them in that direction and kind of give them a little history on that particular cigar and let them know. And once you share that information with them, because being a novice, I've been there. Being a novice, you don't really know.
Yeah.
And you always want somebody to be able to, give you some good advice, a little bit of guidance.
Right.
And for the ladies, we can't leave the ladies out. If the ladies was to come in here, what would you recommend for those? I'm not gonna ask your wife, 'cause she smoke with us,
Man, I tell you, the ladies, they love a good, sweet, just slow burning cigar, and I've been putting everybody on that Tatiana Groovy Blue.
Groovy Blue.
Blue.
They
I like the
love
name.
that Groovy Blue.
Yeah, my wife like that one. That's the only one she smoking. That's the only
Kudos
one she.
to your wife.
That's the only one she was
Groovy Blue,
smoking.
yeah. I mean, we recently, before we knew you guys were here, you guys may have not have even been open at the time. So we went to Vitola. Me and him,
Great place.
me and his wife, we went with our wives one day and they smoked the Groovy Blues, and that's kind of when the switch turned on for me, because I was able to sit back and have a nice little mild cigar and enjoy it with my wife, and that just kind of said I could do this. It's kind of my scene. And when we stumbled upon you and the hospitality that we found when we came here, and the selection that you guys have, it just made it like this is a every weekend type of place that you want to come and hang out. Very, low
we
key.
appreciate that,
Absolutely.
because we know it's all about choices.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're very thankful and grateful that you guys choose Cutters.
Absolutely.
And like I said,
Come and have your experience.
be completely honest, like even with the places that I've been to, once I came here, I probably done learned more in this short amount of time, in a couple of weeks that we've been coming here, than I've learned in all the other places we've been to so far. And
Yeah,
then
so
like it does, like just to come in here, like it's nice in here, everything clean cut, good cool music, games on the TV.
And the great
and
people.
Great people.
Oh yeah.
Just like let's say last weekend we came in, we used to seeing you and your wife, but your son was here too. So it's like it's a family environment,
Right.
and it brings you in
Yeah.
and makes you feel welcome.
Welcome.
No.
And one of my key things is one of my hashtags I use, and I live by that. Our customers are our family.
All right.
And that's a known fact for me being in business. We get crowded sometimes, and I could be sitting right where you sitting.
Yeah.
I'll get up. I had one guy tell me, he said, man, no, you don't have to get up. I said, no, sir. I said, this is your place. I just provide the space.
There you go.
There you go.
You know,
There you go.
our customers are our family.
So are you originally from the Tuscaloosa area or?
Oh, man, I'm originally from Birmingham.
Okay.
Man.
I married here. Yeah, I married here. It'll be 7 years in January when I met my wife. So it was much easier for me to transition from Birmingham and move here versus her moving there, because at that time she had a daughter that was in college.
Right,
which is my daughter by marriage. So being here, man, it's been all great because I've met nothing but great people, you know, like yourselves.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I had a second shot in life coming here.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
I'm telling you, I love the way you embark on the people you meet, and you take what they give you and you use it.
Yeah.
Like you were telling about the 3 guys in your life. Most people won't do that. They'll miss their blessing, but you answered your calling, man. And
Yeah. From the moment we walked in here and it was welcome to Cuddles.
welcome to Cuddles.
It's been on ever since. I mean, they greet you with a genuine smile and you feel the love when you walk in the door. And then the place always chill. You made that recommendation to me the last time with the playlist. I bought a cigar from you and took it home to that Sunday afternoon, sat on my patio and turned on that little.
You put used groove on.
I put it on. I put it on. I was sitting out there vibing so hard. I
Thought he was at
You
Cuddles.
thought it was you know?
it was a nice little situation.
Brought Cuddles home.
What brought upon the name though? Like what made you decide on
Man,
Cuddles?
we were sitting out back on my patio one day, and I was just throwing names out there. I mean, after we had decided I was going to be serious about opening up a line, I hadn't even picked out a place yet. We were just throwing names out, and one of the names were Tuscaloosa Cigars. We one of my buddies was like, "We ought to call you. You ought to call it Willie's."
Willis.
And,
Come on, Willie.
Come on, Willie.
we going to Willie's, you know. And they still do that now. You know,
Going to Willie's place.
They'll throw me in a little group text, and it'd be about 7 or 8 of us, and he'd be like, "I'm heading to Willie's today. You know, anybody gonna meet me?"
Yeah.
So you know, they said, "Well, you need to put your name in there," but I wanted something real catchy.
Yeah.
So then, you know, it just came to my mind, Cutters. And then I didn't find out that there was 2 other businesses named that, but they were in different states until I got ready to do my LLC. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a more
That's a
shops
more?
called Cutters.
Because I asked you when we came out, I said, you got one in Atlanta and somewhere? He was like,
That ain't me.
Yeah.
That's not me. I mean, no relationship, but man, it just God just put that name on me, on my heart, you know, and talking to one of the guys, and he was like, "Man, that's genius." He said, because the guys could be out, and he said, you know, they say, "Well, man, where we going?" "Man, we going to Cutters." He said, "Man, that sounds so good just coming off your
Roll
tongue."
off your tongue.
Yeah. Roll out the tongue. And you got to cut the cigar.
That's right.
I noticed that you guys have a couple events coming up. Tell the public about some of the events that you already have lined up.
Okay.
For the, I think you got some later this month and in December.
Yes,
so.
sir. We have a event that's going to be actually the 20th. It's called Brims and Stilettos, where the guys going to dress up and put their fedoras on, and the ladies gonna have on their stilettos, and everybody gonna come out. There's gonna be some gifts, door prizes being given away.
Okay.
We're gonna have a complimentary cigar and beverage, you know, for the ones that purchase, you know, the tickets. And also, we're hosting our very first Christmas party,
Okay.
which is going to be on the December 18th. And we're going to raffle off a 50-inch television, and we're going to have food and everything. So it's going to be real nice.
And this is a very, very, dope spot to do something like that with the brims and stilettos and the party. So if someone was interested in having their own event here, is that something that you guys would do for someone to want to come in?
Yes, they would just, contact us, 205-409-8495. Leave their name and number, and we'll feel free to give them a call back and see what they want to have.
Okay.
We're open.
Yeah.
Well, I got another question though.
Yes, sir.
Like, since y'all opened on the 30th, right? At what moment did you was there a moment after the 30th that said, okay, this is home, I'm doing the right thing? Because like you said, you did have some doubt about what was going on, and then this, like I said, this your first brick and mortar. But what moment after y'all opened those doors did you say, okay, this is it?
The grand opening.
Grand opening.
October 9th, when we just saw just all the love and people just so excited for us. I mean, people came from different states to come and celebrate that with us.
So with your experience, if somebody want to come in and just spend their Saturday with you, what drink goes best with a cigar? In your opinion, I know it's not an official answer, but for you, if you just want to recommend somebody get a glass of something with a cigar, what you think pairs well best with a cigar?
I started out being a bourbon guy.
Bourbon.
And now I've kind of ventured off a little bit more into the single malt, which is Scotch.
Okay.
Okay.
So Scotch is a good recommendation, what I would do for somebody that, wants to enjoy a cigar.
It's a man drink. Yeah. Scotch ain't no joke.
But it's made to sip.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, there are some good cocktails, mixed drinks out there that can pair well with a cigar based on its profile.
So no Mountain Dew or Pips.
No,
So no Coke in the glass.
Coke in the glass.
Man, why I feel like that just got personal.
Yeah,
Right?
personal.
That was a shot, bro.
Yeah.
They telling secrets.
Tell the secret, man.
They probably thought you had a little taste in there.
Drink or something over there, man.
Yeah. So we've got to know the history of your business and how you came to be. Now I got a few questions, just fire for a few this or that type questions, just kind of get to know you as a person. Nothing too deep.
Okay.
Now, would you rather be embarrassed or afraid?
Would I rather be more embarrassed than afraid? I would say afraid, because you can overcome fear.
Right.
Being embarrassed, I think that would pretty much boil down to you as a person.
Right.
Because that's based on action,
Right.
being embarrassed.
Yeah.
I hope I answered that.
I mean, there's no right or
There's no
wrong
right or
answer. It's
wrong
just
answer.
you, because for me, I was thinking, embarrassment, because my mentality was just like, okay, I'm embarrassed. I just own it, and I'm the type of person that, when I feel like everyone's against me, that's kind of like, that drives me. It lights a fire inside of me, so I feel like if I'm embarrassed and people laughing at me, now I'm going to go a little harder to shit you up.
Right.
But
Makes sense.
what you said just made me think differently. Like, well, if you're afraid and you can overcome that fear, now you got another tool in your belt. Now you've overcame a fear.
Yeah.
Like you had to overcome that fear to get this up and running. So
Right.
this is a manifestation of overcoming the fear. So I had to rethink my thought process. So I kind of like that. Would you rather be able to see the future or change the past?
See the future.
See the future.
Because the past, that's like driving down the road looking through my rearview mirror.
Yeah.
I can't relive that.
Nah, you can't relive it, and then you done made it through that
Yes, sir.
already. So you don't really want to alter the past because it can change your future.
That's true. Butterfly effect. You go back and change one thing, and
Yeah,
your whole
changes
life
everything.
the whole course of your life is different.
Different.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll end it on this: success or happiness. That is kind of a trick question.
Happiness.
Happiness.
Because with happiness, based on what you're doing, if you're happy, success can't do anything but to follow. I'm happy here to be doing this and sitting here with you gentlemen. I wouldn't have it no other way.
I will
It's
appreciate
been an
it.
absolute
I
pleasure.
wouldn't have it no other way.
We appreciate you allowing us to be here, man. That's complete honest. We didn't done shows with different people, and this home now.
Right.
I don't know
Yeah.
about y'all,
Sure.
so it was just finally get a chance to sit down and talk with you, and let everybody else see the knowledge and the sincerity and everything that you're doing. So
Like I say again, man, we appreciate the feeling that you get when you come in. 'Cause that's the most important thing to me. You can get a cigar, there are other places
Yeah.
that you can go to get a cigar. The other places you can go to get a drink and watch a game.
Mm-hmm.
But I've not found a place yet where I feel so welcome and at home to be able to just kick back and have a cigar and a drink and watch a game and enjoy myself, man. So, hey, man, shout out to you and your wife and everybody at the Cutters family who make this thing a possibility, man.
Make
We
it a go.
appreciate you.
We're very thankful for having you guys. We really are. Because like I said, and it's a known fact, when you come through that door, it's a choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're grateful for that. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Man, we appreciate you, man.
So everybody listening, everybody watching, check us out. Give them the location and the address where they can, find you at. And
We're located at 1848 McFarland Boulevard, Northport, Alabama, 35476. And our phone number is 205-409-8495.
come through. Make sure y'all visit and also like and subscribe to this channel. And till next time,
all right.
out of here.